Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome to episode 22 of Arcane Revolution. It's going to be kind of an interesting one. So, I've got a lot of things I want to do today, and let's, get started. To start off camera, between episodes, I need a bunch of steel, right? So, my plan is to do immersive engineering. So, I've got crude blast furnaces here going through making steel, and the problem is I ran out of iron, and also ran out of gold for everything I was doing over here with Arcane Archives, because it turns out I used a lot of gold. So, basically just lots of stuff happened. I had to go get some more gold and some more iron, so I summoned a couple more meteors of ore from blood magic, which made me think I need to upgrade blood magic. In order to upgrade blood magic, the next thing I need is beacons. Specifically, one right here, there, one in each of the corners, and I also need another star for the next tier of orb. So, all that to say, Nether. So, we find ourselves in the Nether here, and I did what really any responsible Minecrafter would do. Instead of, just manually going around and punching things in the Nether fortress, I decided, hey, let's make a Nether farm. So, we've got a small little wither farm set up. It's nothing too fancy. It's basically just a cleared out area, and I come back to it every so often. So, got a couple skeletons in here right now, and this is a very, very old style, very inefficient style, very whatever, but it's quick to build, nether farm. And the way it works is you basically find where there's these corners, right? So in the regular nether fortress, so it keeps going that way, right here would be a corner little crossroads thing, and I actually found two right next to each other. And the reason for that is because since these go out to here, this is the edge of a corner, this whole area is considered Nether Fortress. Now, to make this properly efficient, what I would need to do is to go around and... What are you? A Wraith. I've never seen one of you before. Do I have anything I can capture you with? Sorry, quick side there. I don't have a monster capturing one. So, okay, I'm just going to kill you instead. Wait a minute. I did see one. I've got a box of eternal closure. That will work. So, sorry, quick aside here. Just need to be able to capture him because I don't know what he is. So he might be important. It's from Wraith. Oh, these guys drop Wraith pearls. So that's actually pretty cool. Kill you, thank you, and capture. There we go. Okay. Soul bead. These are kind of cool. They make it so that things can spawn around you without having to be a certain distance away, which is very handy, especially since I have here a wither skeleton farm. And let's kill you because you're going to be annoying. So, like I said, the way to make this the most efficient would be to basically make it so that there's nothing spawnable around. And in order to do that, it's going to be really tedious. I'll either have to block it off or cover it in buttons or non-spawnable blocks, which will be very tedious, but for now this at least works. So, like I was saying, manual farm. Sat here for a while, kept walking back and forth, and basically I got myself 21 wither skeleton skulls. So, got the skulls, got the soul sand, let's find a place to kill the wither. And unfortunately, the more annoying part is for summoning the wither, the general vanilla cheesing the wither method is you find a flat 3x3 area of bedrock, place a little obsidian altar underneath it. The altar is purely decorative, really. Something to place down your soul sand, and then you can summon him and he gets stuck in the bedrock ceiling. However, as you can see here, I'm having difficulty actually finding a 3x3 flat area. Now, in previous versions, blood magic, the teleposers would work in order to basically just cheat it and move your bedrock out of the way. Really handy, but bedrock is currently blacklisted. Now, I could just kind of, this is my own pack, I can cheat it if I want, and I can set bedrock to be movable with teleposers, but I'm kind of wanting to stick as vanilla-ish as I can here, which is kind of more annoying and tedious. But in theory, if I find... There's a couple ways I can go about this. There is vanilla methods of breaking bedrock, such as... Do I have... How am I... Okay. Such as there's flying machines you can use that will basically just delete bedrock. So that's an option. Another thing I can do is just say, whatever, it's good enough, and just summon one up here anyway, and just hope that it's closed off enough that I don't run into issues. Which is kind of where I'm leaning on this. Okay, so I have a spot here. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 3x3 area. Probably fine. Let's go ahead, place down our soul sand. Now, I think I need the heads to be here, but in order for that to work better, I'm going to go ahead and get some obsidian from back at base and make a little table so that he's stuck here. And actually, as I came back to base, I had a realization. I actually have a couple wands in here. Not the moving wand, teleportation wand, swapping wand. It might be in my inventory here. It is a protection wand. Here we go. Mode protect. Protect or unprotect block. So I've got 18 levels on me. I believe it takes levels to use these things. So we're still going to use that area, but I'm just going to see if I can patch up the top with some obsidian and protect it and see if that works. If it does work, then that means I can build an overworld area to fight him and not have to worry too much about it. Alrighty, so let's protect you, and you, and you. I kind of wonder if I should protect the bottom as well. Normally you don't really need to. I mean, the bottom, if you're doing it the vanilla method, wouldn't be an unbreakable block anyway. Okay, so that's all the experience I have anyway, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. So you, and you. Wither is stuck up there, and let's build a small little area I can stand to actually fight him. Probably gonna blow up soon. Alright, so it seems to hold him. Now, can I actually hurt you? No, and it looks like it did break the protected blocks. So, good load of work that actually did. Whatever. He's at least stuck here, so as long as I can reach him. Hit him once. So if I can reach him, then I should be good and not too much in danger. But we will see. There we go. Okay, so he's stuck there. Should be good. Alrighty, last couple hits here. There we go. I did not get an achievement from that, apparently, but I got my other star. So that will work. Let's go ahead and get 6 more of these out of the way. And as long as he stays... Can I capture you? As long as he stays there, then we'll be good, and this will still work for fighting him. So that'll work. I might capture one of these. That's interesting. I didn't know that that would be a vengeance spirit. So it's worth noting that he did actually get out of the box, but I can hit hard enough, and he hasn't hit hard enough to really damage me that much anyway. So shouldn't be difficult. This is not going to be quite as safe as the last one, but still works. We have our 4 beacons now in place, but next up we need a whole bunch more of these runes of sacrifice. I do have some blank runes in here, and a couple runes of self-sacrifice, which I can always use to fill in the blanks in between. But instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making a whole bunch of these daggers of sacrifice, because there is an item here from Blood Arsenal called the Gem of Sacrifice. So this, it only uses 4 gold ingots here, not 8. 2 reinforced slates gets me a Gem of Sacrifice, and if I look at the uses of that, surround that by chiseled stone, or by just stone, and you get 4 runes of sacrifice. So that means I'm getting 4 runes without having to go through as much tedium of getting the blank slates. I can just go straight to reinforced slates, and I get 4 per 2 slates instead of 1 slate each plus 2 blank slates, and it's just cheaper this way. So go through, make all these into daggers, and we'll be back once that is done. And because everything is better with automation, we're going to go ahead, throw Iron Sword into there, and that should start sorting through here. We've got the Dagger of Sacrifice sorting to there. So that is pretty much all set up. These guys are crafting, and since they're not stackable, we might as well start. So, Dagger of Sacrifice, I've got an orb on me. Let's go ahead and make a whole bunch of these guys. I need slates, which I forgot to grab. So, should be good. And let's see, Gem of Sacrifice. Now hopefully these guys stack. I think they do. Yes, they do. So recipe, shift, take. That works. And let's grab the rest of our daggers here. Click those. Unfortunately, since it used the Master Blood Orb here, and this one is not stackable, it only does one craft at a time, which is a little annoying, but should be fine. 5, 6 on me, 7, and 8. Okay. So, almost ready to go here. We can go ahead and actually make some of these to begin with. So just surrounded by stone, gets us Runes of Sacrifice. There we go, 24 of those, not too bad. A little bit easier. I'm not sure if it's cheaper with blood, because I don't remember how much this thing takes, but this is a lot easier. It's at least a lot faster to craft instead of waiting for a bunch of individual runes to craft. Recipe, and then recipe on you. Take that. 28. And that's going to just finish. So let's go ahead, and I've got these slate areas here. These are where the Runes of Sacrifice will go. So it's going to fill in each of these, and should hopefully have enough. I didn't actually count. Might actually have too many. I'm not sure. So filled that side along the back, which we're not going to have enough of these runes. So we're going to probably fill in the rest of it with just blank runes, I think. We can always go ahead and craft them later, but at least for now, this will get us the next tier to be able to get the next tier of orb. So let's grab our last dagger here. Don't need item drops. I need to put some sort of collector system in here, because it's tedious. Every time I walk by here, I end up getting a whole bunch of items in my inventory, which is annoying. So, whatever. Yeah, we don't have enough for just regular the blank runes, so I'll just fill in the rest with runes of self-sacrifice as well. You and you. Okay. Alrighty, so next up, let's go ahead and take one nether star, and I kind of think this isn't going to work. It may start crafting, but I don't think it's going to be able to keep up with the blood demand, just because of how quick this thing goes. So, that being the case, let's go ahead and grab... I filled in the self-sacrifice, right? Yeah, that went way too quick. We are going to take out... We've got 3 speed runes in here, which you don't really want to use for this sort of crafting. So we'll just throw more self-sacrifice here. And the reason I'm going with self-sacrifice is because then I can help. So let's fill those in. That isn't where that goes. Thank you. And self-sacrifice. Okay. So let's go ahead and get ready for actually doing this the right way. Okay, so I think we're ready. We got our nether star, we got our sacrificial dagger, and our master healer wand with greater heal. Now, I don't have the incense anymore. I broke that a while ago and took it out, so I'm not going to get any sort of bonus. In fact, I'm not going to be able to even just do it with a one right click to kill all the blood. So we're going to have to be a little careful with this. So let's plop you in there, and I guess just kind of keep doing this, keeping it up. And we might actually be able to be okay with this. Okay. So this is going to be probably fairly long. I don't have a seer sigil to be able to actually track it, but I think we should be good. It's actually not too hard to keep it fairly stocked up. When it does kill mobs from down below, it pretty much fills up the whole thing instantly. So, not too bad. Just need to make sure it doesn't go completely empty, which we might be getting close to. Maybe. Any minute now would be really helpful. Yay! Sweet, it worked. We have our next tier of orb, the Archmage. Archmage, never remember actually know how to say that. So let's go ahead, bind it to ourselves, and while we are here, let's add it to our list. I did switch this out for an NBT item filter. There's a couple NBT tags on these sometimes, and if you look here it says 2 tags, and up here it says 3, which is really annoying because it wouldn't pick it up. But with NBT tag, it ignores NBT and works. So that is going to go fill up. We are now able to hold 10 million LP, which is awesome because that is 10 of the meteors up there, as well as just a general better buffer anyway. So I think we can go ahead and put the speed runes back in. We don't really need them for charging this, but whatever. Let's go break these, there, and 1, 2, 3. So we're going to let this charge up just a little bit, but mostly that was just to get this set up so this can charge up, and we can actually get started on what we want to do today. And also, since we have the runes now, or not the runes, but the nether stars, which I have in my inventory here, we might as well upgrade our Tartaric gem as well. So that, I think, takes a full charge. So let's place you in here then instead. Yeah, so the 3700 here was not enough, which means it's going to pretty much... Oh, that actually didn't drain it nearly as much as I thought it would. Either way, we have a Grand Tartaric gem now, which will be good because that will hold more LP, or more will, which will keep our Sentient Sword even more powerful, as well as just general, like I said, I keep wanting to just upgrade everything. A long time ago, I started work on the Department of Water and Power, which currently consists of a single little embers thing here, which sends power over to the smeltery area. And then I have a bunch of netherrack just kind of blocking areas off. So, we're actually going to work on this today. So, let's just kind of go over what the plan is so far. We have a turbine front here, which is a steam turbine. In the back here is the alternator, where the power will come out. Now, I also have a distiller, because the boilers here work better on distilled water. And I've got two boilers, which will be fed by diesel. Now, what's not as easily shown here is these actually aren't going here. They're going to go down probably 5 or 6 blocks from where they are right now, and the current level is going to be a wooden pathway pretty much all the way around. So it's going to be, I want it to be open in the middle, and basically the turbine's going to be this kind of centerpiece of the whole build, down several layers, with boilers kind of off to the side underneath a walkway, which will be about where I'm standing here. Then on top of the walkway is actually not going to be these machines, it's going to be a couple others. Now, I'd kind of gone back and forth of if I wanted to use embers as my fuel source for the steam. I think I've decided on just using the boilers here because it looks cool. And then also I don't need to set up, because this, for embers to work, it has to be the ember powering like a smelter or something, and then it can get steam off that. You can't just convert this directly. So it kind of gets a bit messy going back and forth. Instead, I can just have a whole steampunk feel in here by having actual steam generators. Yeah. So the plan, like I said, they're not going to go here. The distiller and the boilers are going to go down a level, and the distiller actually might move over to this side because I've got the water source here. It'll be fancy, don't worry. But what am I powering this with? Well, I'm going to go the actual immersive engineering route, which is diesel. So you need a squeezer to get juice, and you need a fermenter to get alcohol. Once you got that, you can then combine it with your refinery to make biodiesel. So you need plant oil, ethanol, biodiesel. So we're going to put those up here. And I'm thinking, close that. I kind of think it's just over here. It doesn't really matter where they go. The idea is that, I think, yeah, I'll have the fermenter refinery up here, or fermenter and squeezer up here. Refinery will be pretty much here, but down. Distiller, boilers, down. You down over there. So basically up top here, it's just going to be these two, the squeezer and the fermenter. And I think I may have enough items on this to make me. I might have enough items to make this. But to make it easier, let's see if we've got our projector. Arcane Grappler, that's not a projector. Okay, let me go grab that. Well, got myself a projector, as well as did a little bit of work here. By a little bit, I mean quite a lot of excavation. I haven't decided if I want the wisdom wood, or perhaps the steel scaffolding with a wood top. Not sure, go back and forth. Anyway, we have this, and I made a refinery as well, so we're just going to go ahead and make the next one, which is going to be, I think this is a squeezer? I'm not sure. Got you, and we're going to place you right here. And basically, like before, I'm using the netherrack just as kind of a placeholder, but you can kind of see how the place is going to shape up. This, once it's run out of fuel, it's going to go down, maybe? Maybe in the back. Haven't really decided where, but it's going to go somewhere. Because I don't want the stone here. Because also need to have a space underneath it to block it from flowing. But whatever. We've got our scaffolding and everything here, so I think we've got what we need. So, pretty simple. We got the materials, so let's just start placing. Scaffolding goes around the edges, a pipe down the middle, and that is a light engineering block. Right there. Next layer, another engineering block, and it looks like just a bunch of wooden barrels, which I've got, and a redstone block, or engineering block. And then a bunch of steel fences, and a piston, which I should have on me in my redstone bag. So let's grab that. Grab a single piston. Now, I wonder if I place this Oh, that needs to be in my inventory. Or hotbar. I might need to place something above that. Let's try going like that. And a piston. There. And it has a green box around it, so we should be good. Let's smack it with a hammer. Cool. There we go. We can break our little top thing there, because that was just for holding it still. Let's break steel fence. There we go. And we have our squeezer, next up the fermenter on the other side. Now, by default, with the fermenter here, you can kind of see the pipe in the middle here. That is the output. Now, if I shift middle click, then that should have mirrored it. Now we have that on this side. Okay, so that should work. Break you and place you in like that. Let's break out our netherrack and build this guy as well. Alrighty, last few pieces is a bunch of cauldrons on top here. And it looks like just iron sheet metal. Got the green box, so let's go ahead and, like before, smack with a hammer. There we go. We have our fermenter, our refinery, and our squeezer. Next up, piping and items. So my plan is the output of this, I'm actually going to use the embers pipe for the output of that for no reason other than looks. I figure in an actual industrial setting, let's turn you off, please. In an actual industrial setting, like your fuel pipe isn't going to be as huge as like, your water pipe going into these things, or even the fuel from here. I feel like a fuel line's going to be a little bit thinner. So just for looks, it's going to have that pipe coming out the front, and I think just going pretty much straight down through the floor. Like right there. So that's going to come down here to these boilers, which I think should work. Now, these guys here, like I said, this fermenter needs to have items coming in. So I need to figure out what that is. And pipe coming out here is going to be, I think, just going straight in to the refinery. Do I have pipes on me? Nope. Let's grab those. A couple regular fluid pipes. These are Immersive Engineering ones. And just connect it. There we go. And it looks like power goes into the tops of all these. So I need to sort out power in here as well. That's going to be a thing. But this is a power plant, so it should be good. And just to see that all my pipes are set up properly to flow into the refinery, I'm going to just kind of kickstart the system with the little spectre coil. So I think I just place you here. That's filling this up, which should be turning these guys into... Okay, so it is flowing out. And in here, ethanol is flowing in. Awesome. So this side works. Take you, and let's go over to this one as well. There we go. So that's just going to squish down the industrial hemp. And these are what I'm planning on using, at least for now until I run out of the industrial hemp seeds, because I've got tons of these guys. That is working. So let's see, you have plant oil and ethanol. So that looks good, and let's make sure that this actually works here, which I'm assuming it would. Charging that up, and biodiesel is coming out. So that did definitely... I think our bottleneck is going to be the fermenter here, I think, because that seemed to go a little bit slower. So, at least for now, we know that this works. We've got about a bucket of diesel in here, a little bit more, which should be good to get us still working here. So, next up, I'm going to make at least one boiler, and I think I'm out of steel in order to actually go any further here. So, I'm going to craft up some more steel. And over here by our storage area with the blast furnace, I did make an improved blast furnace with 2 preheaters as well. I also provided power. I took off the power for now though. I was hoping that by providing power, not only would it burn faster, but also more efficiently. So I don't go through as much coal coke, because right now it's a big bottleneck. But it doesn't. Still gets me 10 iron ingots, or 10 steel I should say, for a block of coal coke. Presumably I might be able to improve the efficiency if I switch out for iron blocks instead. But then it gets weird math, because right now it's 1 of these to 10 of these. You probably do 1 to 1.11111 blocks, which is kind of annoying to deal with. So I'm just going to stick with this for now. Slowly making more steel, slowly making more coal coke, and slowly running out of storage for all my creosote. I built a little bit more on the building over there, but really just kind of added like 1 high wall. That's all I did. So we're going to keep on building here. Alrighty, boiler number 1 is basically done here. Let me get my hammer. This one, it's worth noting, uses heavy engineering blocks. These things up here, I think the refinery may have used 1 or 2. They're a little bit more expensive. Let's see, how do I... Middle one? There we go. Yeah, it's a bit more expensive because it needs like electrum and a whole lot of steel as well, so everything's getting more expensive. I want to say the turbine here uses like 20 of those, so that's going to be very expensive. Just tedious processing there. We have our boiler, so let's go ahead and turn that off. Now, this guy here, he needs, I want to say water goes down here, and fuel goes in the front, and steam comes out the top, if I recall. So I'll have a pipe of steam come along the top, which will go into the turbine. Fuel's going to go there from down the front here. So I think it's going to go straight down, then come out front and branch into that. And thanks to the power of ancient warfare, I was able to get a whole lot more steel a little bit easier. And we have here the last piece of the puzzle. This is the alternator. So you just place like that, and I believe, yep, you are not in the right spot there. Okay, so let me turn off the projector here. There we go. And let's take a look. I believe that the connectors go here. Could be wrong though. And I've got a connector up here to a capacitor. So let's go ahead and wire it up. U to U. So once you start getting some steam, we should be up and running. Now, Mr. Boiler here, you have biodiesel. You don't seem to have... you need water. Alright, well, to get this thing at least running, I put a pitcher plant here. I'm just going to fill up this barrel. And I believe it should just start working. Not sure if it needs a power source to actually start. But it is definitely taking lots of water. So you've got water, you've got steam, and I don't have the steam going anywhere, which is correct. So let me get a bunch more fluid pipes, and we should be up and running. Okay, so fluid pipes go on the output right here. We're just going to drag it along and have it come out the front here. And I think the way I'm going to do this is just have it go straight along here, so it'll meet up with this boiler as well. And then we need to get to here. So we're just going to go along like that. And right there. Nothing blew up. That's good. Are we getting power? We are getting obscene amounts of power. Awesome. And pretty much just from a few of those buckets of water, we're up to about 2 million RF. So that's pretty cool. These guys here, I'm going to switch you over from being, I just hooked up to the LV capacitor. Next thing is I need to make sure that you guys always have items, and I need to automate the water. And for making sure that we actually have enough materials to, make that out of, we need to expand our corporeus system over to the farming area. Oh, that's from when I was mining. Okay. So this shouldn't be too difficult. I'm basically just going to keep digging this way and connect up over to the farm. That'll be pretty easy. Once Corporeus is set up, then I can turn on and off my farming systems over there. So that'll be good. But then for the water, I have a couple options. So one is I can do the sink, just a sink in a pipe and call it a day. That's one option. The other option is I can make the, I guess, the immersive engineering method, which is there's the pumps and the refiner, what's it? Not refiner. It's the thing that makes it so that the water is more pure. It makes the water more effective. You get more steam out of it, I should say. So that's one option. There's going to be a flood here. So that's one option. Another option is, I guess I have a couple things I can use to get water. I could probably fix something with the, like Embers has something, Thaumcraft has the well of eternal water or whatever it is. So there's a couple different options for that. For now, I am going to go ahead and connect this up to the farm district, and we'll be back after that. So let's take a look at our industrial squeezer. So in here, we get plant oil. And there's a couple different things you can use for that. Right now, my plan was to use industrial hemp seeds, which is great because I have a bunch of those, and it gives you the most plant oil of anything. This gives you 20. I think everything else gives you 80 or 20 or something, which is, it's cool. But the problem is I don't actually have a whole lot of use for industrial hemp fiber. I don't have any recurring thing that's just going to keep crafting this. not gonna use that many hemp rope coils. Hempcrete is nice, but it's not gonna be just like a constant production. Whereas this guy here, I do need to be pretty much just constantly producing. So what can we do? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking pumpkin seeds might be the option. I think melon seeds work as well. You are worth 20, whereas you are worth 40. Each melon that I grow gets me some number of the seeds, whereas pumpkin seeds gets me, I think, 4 per pumpkin. Basically, I'll just craft the pumpkin into it. And I'm thinking I think pumpkin seeds is what I'm gonna do. And at least in the interim here, I'm gonna just use the growing chambers from Immersive Engineering here. Over here, still gonna go with sugarcane. That's easy enough. So, hello there. No, you stay with me. So let's go over to our farming area. And yes, I've been doing a little bit of work off camera here for some automation ideas. We'll get to that, I think, in the next episode. But over here, let's do this one first. So let's land. Thank you. Now, over here, I did one thing outside. I've dug a well. Currently, it's just a hole in the ground. And that just leads down to here. Well, specifically leads all the way down there for my droppers and corporeal sparks to come in. Hello there. That's kind of cool that it captures you. Anyway, let's go back inside here. And we've got our corporea is all set up. And I think it's working. So I've got, this is just wheat here. This is candleberries, which I'm not really using for anything at the moment, but wax is kind of a cool block. And I have industrial hemp growing, and I have sugarcane. And right now they're all off because if we go downstairs, we have enough of everything. So we've got our corporeal set, we've got wheat, candleberries, and I just put 2 stacks of everything. But like I said, I don't have a whole lot of use for industrial hemp fiber at the moment. Not recurring, so it's just going to sit here. I don't want to like completely fill up the hemp just to get the seeds. So I'm thinking these 2 right here are going to be for potato or pumpkin and melon. So to start this, let's go ahead and place our corporeal crystal cube here. Easy enough. Spark on top. And I should have a couple more of these guys. Let's grab 2 of you and 1, 2 of you. Craft you into books. And we want 1 to go here, 2 stacks, and 1 to go here. Here, 2 stacks. So that is easy enough setup. The problem is I don't actually have any melons or pumpkins on me at the moment. So let's go back upstairs here and at least get this thing growing. So let's just jump. Let's just jump. I should probably put an actual elevator in here or stairs or something in here, but for now, kind of don't care. Let's see, you need 1 pumpkin and you need a melon. Now, this should hopefully grow, and I'll just be able to pick up the item once it's done. And then once I get enough of these, I can just fill in the rest of them and fill in down below as well. So let's stand here-ish, I think should work. Awesome. 1 pumpkin, and melon should be shortly as well. Ooh, and that is actually good to know that it does give me full melons. That actually might be a little difficult. Can I craft you back? I can't. I think my compacting drawer can break that down though. And down here in shipping and receiving, I moved both golems down here now. And what I've got working here is actually, instead of before I was using store seals, now I'm using a stock seal. And it seems to be working. So basically the stock seal, it will tell it to keep, say, 100 of whatever in whatever I want. So for instance, my sand going to my clay factory is sitting right here, and it's just getting filled up. I've got it set for, I think, 2 stacks, and for some reason it goes a little bit over, but seems to be okay. So next up we've got this here, which is black, gray, white, and this is going to go to Immersive Engineering Power Plant. I've got 2 of these, so one's going to go over there as well. But in the meantime, let's go ahead, right-click you onto here, and let's find where I put my bell. I think I put it in my toolbox here. So, Goldmaster's bell, let's take you, and you need to be set to keep, let's go with, so I know you need sugarcane. So you, let's say I want a stack of that, should be good. They're coming over here, cool. Which is probably way more than I need. Maybe. You guys don't carry much. There we go. So you carried a stack. guy with the backpack didn't carry a stack. Whatever. Okay, so two stacks. I guess that works. You better not be grabbing more. No more. There's one problem with these, and why I'm kind of debating not using golems for this, because yeah, there's more than a stack in here already. So I'm not sure why they keep coming. But that may be an issue. Stop it. Seriously? Alright, whatever. So, yeah, you guys are getting swapped out for a courier, I think. This guy got lots of sugarcane in here. Cool. Let's also, just for now, I'm going to throw in a bunch of pumpkin seeds. Or melon seeds. Pumpkin seeds. So, one thing is, since I get 4 pumpkin seeds per pumpkin, I'm kind of thinking I might go with melons, actually. Because melons, I actually get 9 seeds per. I guess that's 4 at 80 versus 9 at 20. So pumpkin seeds are still probably better. Let's open you, and let's say we want 23. So I don't actually have these being crafted up yet. So right now, just get the pumpkins coming in, and no pumpkin seeds being made. So that's going to be kind of just stuck, but that's fine. So if we go over to our factory over here, we also need to sort out how we're going to be moving our items on this side. So for now, let's go ahead, place a ender chest. So one thing is, I've got high voltage going around here. So this is potentially an issue if I have golems doing this, where they might get electrocuted. So that's gonna be interesting. So I guess the ideal world would be golems or NPCs from Ancient Warfare. However, and so really, that'd be the ideal, just because then there's people living in my town. But the problem is that they tend to just kind of freeze up, or like the golems over there just not act correctly. So I'd like it to be take everything from here, put 1 stack of sugarcane in here, and 1 stack of seeds in over here, the blue side on the back here. That would be the ideal. And like I said, Ancient Warfare NPCs would look nice. However, they freeze up, they stop moving. So I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this. I can do, let's say, blood magic nodes. I can do that in here. But sort of at that point, why am I even bothering with the ender chest in the middle? I can just do directly from storage to the items or to the machines here. I don't know. I can do conveyor belts. I need to figure out how to do filtering with that, but I could easily have a conveyor belt go along the back here, and it'll be sugarcane goes in here, and everything else goes over there. That is an option. Ideally something that's also expandable, where I can also place my ember crystals into the ender chest here, and it will go to this place. So the pressure refinery isn't going to stay up here, it's going to move down a floor. But yeah, if I do a conveyor belt, then that's going to be annoying to have to wrap it around to go over here for filtering as well. I'm not really sure how I want to do this. I'm kind of thinking for now I might just do it manually for a little bit. Capacitors are filling up here. The only reason that they're not at the moment is because the boiler doesn't have water supplied to it. And I think that's about it, because this guy's full. It's got full biodiesel, plant fuel's full, ethanol is getting full. So that is working. But I need to figure out what I want to use for the automation method in here. So I think for now I'm just going to kind of not think about it. The reason for that is right now the only thing actually using power off this giant power station is the power station itself. Capacitors here are really only supplying power to the fermenters, the refinery, etc., which is just powering the turbine itself. And again, that's mostly held up right now because I don't have water, which is actually fairly trivial to automate, but I just need to place a sink there and it'll be done. So I think for now, I'm just going to leave it as is until I actually start having something that's drawing power. I mean, like right now I can even walk on my HV cables, I'm not getting killed. The main, like that power is going to go throughout the entire city, except for potentially right here, because this I'm still working on what I'm using for the automation. Right now I'm playing around with the Ancient Warfare crafting stations. You can either have an NPC do it, or you can have the torque shafts do it. Supposedly it's supposed to work with RF, but it doesn't seem to here, so for now I've got this thing going. Then my other power draw at the moment is over at the farm, which has an Immersive Engineering windmill here, which is actually supplying way more power than I need anyway, because it turns out that these guys don't use that much power. At least this one is you're full, and everything here is currently off anyway, just because I'm not using it. So if I'm not using it, then I don't need the power. So for now, I think we're going to leave our power system as is until I start actually... Let's please fly. Until I can actually start using my power, which we'll get to. So my main plans for power draw are going to be powered lamps, which are going to be pretty much on each of these light posts here. I'm going to use powered lamps because that will mean I don't have to have the torch spam everywhere. I can actually have some shade in here, some shadows at night, but still not have to worry about mob spawning, which is the main reason for it. I'm not sure why my chunks are rendering weirdly today, but apparently they are. So that is going to be on hold for a little bit. Like I said, I've got the infrastructure in place. I just need to figure out what I want to do for moving items, and I'm up to suggestions on what we can do for that. Embers pipes are a thing as well. I'm not sure how to do filtering with those. I mean, really, the optimal solution here is just blood magic nodes. I know they work. They would do exactly what I want. Keep this stocked with one stack over there. If it gets filled up with fuel, cool, it'll only stack one stack in there. And this thing here can just stick with whatever I have, and then the rest of the sugarcane can stay in my sorting system. So that's kind of the optimal solution here. I didn't ask you. Thank you. So the optimal solution would be the blood magic nodes. I'd like to figure out why my NPCs keep freezing. Because if they can just keep moving when I'm not around them, then I think I'd like to do that. I can put up a safety railing here so they don't fall down. And then I can actually have people in my city. So I might look into Ancient Warfare there for the NPCs and figure out if there's something I can do to stop that. But for now, I think we're going to call this for an episode. We've got our power plant basically done. Still need a roof. Need to figure out if I want a tall roof or a short roof. But we've at least got the machinery in place. And this has been quite a lot of work. It's probably taken me about 2 weeks actually to get this done. Lots of steel, lots of crafting, lots of everything. I do like the look of immersive engineering machines, but man are they expensive. Anyway, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye bye.